Brandon, I'm sorry to say, but today we are drinking to forget.
I don't think we have enough
No.
alcohol.
I saw the saddest shit of my life today. I was at work, and I saw two little baby ducklings wandering alone by themselves, calling out for their little mama, chirping out.
Anything else?
No, it's fucking heartbreaking. What do you mean anything else?
I thought they died.
No, it's gonna keep me up all night. They're fucking sitting out there scared and alive. Oh, never mind.
You ever seen
I'm
Lilo
gonna
and
fucking-
Stitch? They find their way.
I'm gonna drink to forget you. No, after I saw that, I walked away, said a prayer like that. Yo, help them find their mom, man. But
Just love
anyway,
and positivity. They'll figure it out.
yeah. So if everyone listening could manifest that the baby ducklings find their mother, even if you're listening to this years from now, just we need that cumulative energy throughout time and space. So, welcome back, everybody, to the Gin and Thomas podcast. It's the show where we share a drink with friends, and today is the Gin and Thomas Arbor Day special. So, to celebrate, we actually have a how do I describe it? Friend of an arborist as our special guest today, Brandon Churchill. Brandon, how you doing?
What's up?
So, Brandon, from what I understand, you are not an arborist, but you're friends with an arborist. So,
Correct.
How would you say that has influenced your knowledge, expertise, and career in trees?
I just asked them a lot of tree questions.
Oh, okay. Not as exciting of an answer as I was expecting, but that's what you get when someone's not an arborist.
And then I retain 1% of the information.
But, of course, we do have one arborist on the show, and that is me, your host, Thomas. Gin. But anyway, Brandon, I just want to warn the people right now. Today's drink is not the woodsiest drink.
It's very fragrant, though.
Yeah, but I need to blame this on Missouri because I have a lot of ideas on what I want to get going. But the way the winters out here last so long, I have to wait for things to be in a little more bloom to get the supply to forge the supplies I need. If we were out in Arizona, I could have gotten all of this morning. You know what I mean? But it's so damn cold out here. You can't even plant stuff until now.
Kind of like last week.
Also,
although we did have frosts.
Yeah. But day of recording, I planted a tree earlier today.
Sick.
And then day after release, I will be planting 8 trees. So if you're listening to this day of the release, tomorrow I will be planting 8 trees for Arbor Day.
Happy Arbor Day.
Happy Arbor Day, everybody. So today's drink, it is called the Woodland Punch. I picked it mainly for the name, not so much what's in it, because again, I have some woodsy cocktails, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. We're going to get into those later this year.
This doesn't scream woodsy to me.
But it's just called Woodland Punch. But it's because called Woodland Punch because the person that made it made a trip to the Woodland Plantation near New Orleans.
Racist.
Yeah. But no, it is by Paula from callmepmc.com. But first, we actually have a new alcohol on the show today. It is Southern Comfort.
SoCo, as the kids
SoCo.
call it.
Kind of sweet. Very low alcohol. It's 35%.
Fun fact. First alcohol I ever drank straight. That's not counting shots. I mean,
I think the first alcohol I ever had straight was beer.
No, I mean
No,
liquor.
no, I know.
First liquor I drank
No,
straight.
the only time I had ever had Southern Comfort before was in this this cider thing this guy made. He poured out a bottle of it into a pot, boiled it with some cinnamon and apples.
Yeah.
And tasting this straight, I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It already has
it
some
matches.
sweetness to it. It has a little bit of a caramelness to it. I mean, it's pretty good. I just wouldn't drink this straight. It's a little too sweet for me.
Yeah, but if you're going to go for a shot, this is probably a good shot to take straight out the bottle.
Yeah, and since it's low alcohol, it's not going to get you trashed.
It's not that low
But
of
if
alcohol. It's
you-
35%.
Yeah. But this would be really good if you were going to have some tart mixers, kind of like what we have today.
What's in this drink?
Yeah, so in our drink today, we have 1 1/2 ounce of Southern Comfort, 3 ounces of pineapple juice, a 1/2 ounce of cherry juice, top it off with about an ounce of club soda, garnish with a lemon and a lime, and...
Cherry and a lime.
Yeah, you're right. Ooh. Yeah, you're right. Cherry and a lime. Thank you. So let's give these a taste here. It's very pineapple forward. It's almost like a fruit punch.
Well, it is 3 ounces of pineapple juice. It's quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's also called Woodland Punch. But yeah, so I was a bit lazy today, guys. It's just because it has woodland in it, but
Not a very strong drink.
Yeah, I didn't really have any time to make a pine simple syrup, which is coming, ladies and gentlemen. I just have to source the ingredients and find where to put it. So stay tuned.
I think when they said Woodland, they meant Woodland Hall at SIUE.
Yeah, it's the name of a place, or it's probably someone's last name. It has the word wood in it.
Right.
Yeah, but overall, so the color, we went with black cherry juice, so that adds a darker color. Not in like a gross way, but it's almost like Bloody Mary colored.
If you could see through the Bloody Mary.
Yeah, like a little bit of a watered down. It kind of tastes like, it tastes just like fruit punch. You could probably go with a stronger whiskey.
I kind of wish I would have squeezed the lime into it.
Yeah. I'm going to do that right now. Oh, or you know what else you could do maybe is double the Southern Comfort and then just like cut your pineapple juice in half maybe.
Let the fixer take care of it.
All right, yeah, no, we'll let the fixologist take care of it when it comes to it. I would read out the origin, but this is one of those websites where it is like, when I was a boy, I went fishing 22 years ago in the late 1800s.
God. And it wasn't until I was 23 that I discovered.
Yeah. And it was just because it opens, like, I was fishing in New Mexico. Like, so it says the drink is inspired by the Woodland Plantation in New Orleans. But the story starts with, I was fishing in Texas, near the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, my God. Just get to the... Listen. If you are ever putting a drink online, ingredients, and then how to make it.
Give me your blurb at the end.
Give the blurb at the end, because if I care, I'll read more. But generally, I don't care. I am here for the recipe and how to make it.
And if anything, save all that for, like, a cookbook. Yeah. Where like maybe people are like more in the mood for it, because like it, but I mean, like, if you're looking up a recipe online, I highly doubt you're going to be reading it and you're like, wow. But maybe if you have like a cookbook, you'd be like, wow, Julia Stiles, that is good. Wait, is Julia Stiles the chef lady?
Julia Child.
Wow, Julia Child. That's a good point. That French cooking does need a lot of butter.
Thanks, Martha Stewart. I knew the right curtains to go with this drink were
Thank you, Martha Stewart. I know how to lie on my taxes.
I mean, this isn't bad.
No, it's not bad by any means.
I don't know when would you drink this?
Grandma's house, Grandma's 88th birthday party. This could be her drink, the signature drink. It's kind of like
a dirty beach.
Yeah. Well, no, to me, it's kind of like maybe if you're in the South, because it's
like
sweet.
A dirty beach.
Yeah.
No. Along a river.
Yeah, if you know what, this would
along
actually...
a river.
Oh, yeah, our ambiance today. We're in the trees along a river for Arbor Day. We're in amongst the trees. Maybe if this was like a canned cocktail, drinking this while fishing on a river. Because I'm not going to make this if I'm on a river.
It's got too much sugar in it, I think, from the juice.
That's why you got to be in the South, because they fucking put sugar in everything, man.
Yeah, sweet tea and all that jazz.
Then drink this while you're eating some blackened catfish. Ooh-wee, baby. That's good eating. It's just too sweet.
You know, for as much as I kind of like pineapple juice, I think this just has too much in it. Well, you know what? I bet if it was fresh pineapple juice, it would be a whole different story.
Well, also, and maybe a little more cherry, because the pineapple juice is kind of sweet and the alcohol is kind of sweet. Maybe you need that tart to balance out a little more.
Dude, this is just getting back into those seltzer flavors again.
I know.
Who puts a cherry and a pineapple together?
I know. But I think if you went with if you squeeze the lime to get the citrus,
okay,
so that's your acid. Well, I mean, there's acid in this pineapple juice, but it's mostly sugar. So you get your acidity, and then increase the cherry juice, get a little more tart, and then the sweetness from the pineapple and the Southern Comfort. I think that there's a little more of a balance there. I just think it's too heavy on our sugar-filled pineapple.
I have ideas.
I mean, I'm drinking it. It's good. It's almost like if we had put more club soda, this would just kind of be like a seltzer.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So if this was a you know what? Next time I do, I think maybe more seltzer.
You're right.
This would actually not be a bad seltzer. Ooh, Bud Light. Make a Southern flavor seltzer. I don't know. Overall, I mean, it's good, not great, not the most amazing thing. I would give it I'm going to give it 5 blue agaves out of 10.
I will give it, let me think about this.
He's got to do the math.
I'll give it 2 shrubs.
2 shrubs. Ooh. On Arbor Day?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Do the conversion. How many blue agaves is that on Arbor Day?
Yeah. You know what's so funny is don't worry, I do have a game for us today. But I wanted to do is it a tree or a shrub?
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, you know how I say no tricks. Every one of them would have been a trick because, like, it's such, like, a divided... It's mostly just, like, what you're feeling that day.
Right.
Like, there's some that are trees and some that are shrubs. For so many people, it's just who you ask and how they're feeling that day. So the shrub-tree debate is hotly debated.
It kind of sounds like science to me.
Yeah, well, but then also it would have been funny because, like, no matter what you chose, it all would have been wrong. Because I would have been like, well, according to this
Science.
arborist, he says it's a tree. Sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, that's science, bro. Changes with the weather. No, science changes constantly because we discover new things all the time. Which is why arborism is a science.
Arborism? Arboriculture?
Arborism. That sounds like a religion.
Arborism.
Arborism. That's what them tree huggers follow. Arborism.
Yeah, call me a tree hugger. I'm an arborist. Well, then you would just be an arborist.
Yeah, that's why arborism works.
All right, so Brendan, I'm gonna tell a little bit of the background of Arbor Day, if that's all right with you.
Oh, by all means.
Okay, so
I'd be upset if you didn't.
All right, so Arbor Day. Oh, this is from Wikipedia, everybody. Arbor Day, or Arbor Day in some countries, that's with the U in there, is a secular day of observance which individuals and groups are encouraged to plant trees. Today, many countries observe such a holiday. They're usually observing in the spring. The date varies depending on climate and suitable planting season. So it's multiple countries, but it's throughout the year, whatever. So we can be hitting the fucking Israeli Arbor Day and come back with the woodland cocktail if we need to.
Yeah.
All right. For example, in Australia, Tree Day is held on the last Friday of July.
They would call it Tree Day.
Oh, wait, no, that's National Schools Tree Day. And then many states have Arbor Day,
okay.
Although Victoria has Arbor Week.
Hell yeah.
Belgium has International Day of Tree Planting. It is celebrated in Flanders around the 21st of March. Brazil has Dia de Avó. Avó, it's not French. Arbore. Sorry, Brazilians. I don't speak Portuguese. Is celebrated on September 21st, so we could hit Brazilian Arbor Day. It is not a national holiday. However, schools nationwide celebrate this day with environmentally related activities. The British Virgin Islands celebrate on November 22nd, 2 days before my dad's birthday. Cambodia celebrates on July 9th.
My brother's birthday.
Canada has a huge thing I don't want to read. But anyway, so it just... No, but it goes through. There's Central African Republic, July 22nd. Chile, Dia de Arbol, July 28th. China, Congo, Costa Rica, Cuba, Czech Republic. Egypt is January 15th. You know what I mean? India. So it like I'm just like, look at me, man. I'm just scrolling.
It's constantly. It's all different everywhere.
North Macedonia.
Oh my god.
Oh, it doesn't give me a date though. But yeah, so anyway, it's just all over the world, right? We would be here all day if I read out all of them.
Absolutely.
But so it's our origin. So the first Arbor Day was in the Spanish village of Mondoñedo. I am so sorry,
In Spain,
everybody at home. It held the first documented arbor plantation festival in the world, organized by its mayor in 1594. The place remains as Alameda de los Remidos and is still planted with the lime and horse chestnut trees.
Lime trees.
It is planted with lime and horse chestnut trees. I don't know what it remains as Alameda de los Remidos. I'll have to look that up in a second. A humble granite marker and a bronze plate. Okay. But yeah, so that was its first ever one. And then the first American Arbor Day was originated by J. Sterling Morton of Nebraska City, Nebraska. Real original with the name there. At an annual meeting in the Nebraska State Board of Agriculture held in Lincoln on April 10th, 1872, an estimated 1 million trees were planted in Nebraska.
On that day?
On that day.
Oh my god. That's a lot. It's a lot of trees.
And then, you have people like Theodore Roosevelt who He did a lot for it. There's a little blurb here, but I'm not going to get into all that.
He did all the national parks, didn't he?
Yeah, so he did all the national parks, but conservation was always a large part of his whole message, which I have a lot to. He's
Policies.
Yeah, and even just his vibe. Like even after he retired, he's like, "We got to protect these lands." You know what I'm saying? Got to go hunting. That's not what he sounded like, but you know.
No, he sounded like Robin Williams.
Yeah, yes, he did. But so anyway, Brandon. It's Arbor Day, and I don't know about you, but arbor kind of makes me think of trees.
Wood.
And it makes me think, what kind of tree am I? Makes me wonder, what kind of tree are you?
Okay.
So, I had two options here. I originally was going to go with BuzzFeed, but fuck them. So we're going with the worldwildlife.org. And so it's a what tree are you quiz. Ready?
Yes.
All right, so you're going to go first, and then we'll do mine.
Lovely.
So here's our little intro here. Trees have traits many of us aspire to. Strength, resilience, the ability to branch out.
Boo.
Answer these 7 simple questions about your habits, personality, and interests to discover the tree you relate to most. Share the results and invite your friends to take the quiz too. So what I did is I Googled, what tree are you? worldwildlife.org. I'll leave the quiz in the show notes so you guys can play along at home. So, Brandon, the weekend is coming up. What sounds good to you? I wouldn't mind a rainy day to cuddle up in a chair and read a good book. A bright and sunny day would be great. I really want to make progress on my garden. Sunny or overcast doesn't matter to me. I'll be outside regardless.
I could really use a rainy day to stay in.
Okay. Too bad you don't know how to read, though.
True. I'll have somebody read it to me.
Yeah. All right. If you could have one of these meals for dinner tonight, which would you choose?
Pizza.
Grilled veggies drizzled with a vinaigrette.
Absolutely not.
Hot dogs or burgers right off the barbecue. Butternut squash ravioli with sage. And a hearty stew with crusty bread.
Oh, I'm going to go with the burgers then.
Burgers.
Bobby.
Oh, all right. You open your clothes closet. What do you see? A lot of color. Not just denim blue. Or mostly neutrals.
I guess I'd put it under a lot of color.
Okay. What is your favorite outdoor activity? Hiking, going to the beach, a picnic?
Oh, beach. All day.
Okay. Number 5. What kind of party attendee are you? I am loud, goofy, in the center of attention, telling funny stories and jokes. I am the person helping the host out, always happy to lend a hand. I am the one you can count on to RSVP and show up ready to have fun.
Which one do you think I am, Thomas?
RSVP?
It's either that one or the first one.
You know what? You would RSVP, though.
True.
I think you want the first one.
No, I think I identify as both, but I'm not always the center of attention, though, so I'll take the latter.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would RSVP.
All right. 6 out of 7. Question number 6. When you commute to work or school, you take different routes on occasion. I get bored if I cannot switch things up. Stay on the same course. I know it works, and I stick with it.
Oh, I stick with it. Faster the better, baby.
All right, final question. Which better describes you? A doer. I come up with a plan, and I go for it. A thinker. I like to consider all my options before forging ahead.
Why do those sound like the same thing to me? Could you read them again?
A doer. I come up with a plan, and I go for it. And a thinker, I like to consider all my options before forging ahead. I think like a doer is like you look at it and you're like, I'm going to do this and this, and then I'm going. Like you just first plan. Like it's not like you act impulsively, but I think like my first idea was good enough. Let's hit it.
Okay, I guess I'm weighing all of the options because I weigh them, plan, and then do it.
Okay, what tree are you? You are a red mangrove. Rhizophora mangle. Though it may look tangled and messy, the red mangrove serves an important purpose along the coast in Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. It attracts a diversity of birds, fish, and even crocodiles. You attract people too. Friends know to find you at the beach, enjoying the summer, rain or shine. You're a goofball amongst your buddies, and a quick draw with a great joke. Okay,
that is accurate, but
okay.
I would rather be like a strong oak.
I don't make the quiz,
I
Brian.
know
All right,
you
as
don't.
for me,
It was way too accurate.
All right, weekend is coming up. I want to do my garden. Sunny day. If I could have one of these meals, let's go with a hearty stew. It's bulking season, baby. What clothes do you see? I also have a lot of color.
Bulking season. Lots of burgers, bro.
Yeah, but a hearty stew with all that bread. I'm carbo loading.
Okay.
What's your favorite outdoor activity? I'll go with hiking. What kind of attendee are you? I'm loud and goofy. I'm not showing up early, and I'm also not going to help out. When you commute to school or work, I stay on the same course. I get I have 2 ways home. It depends on if I stop at a certain store.
It sounds like multiple ways.
I'm a doer. I probably underthink things. I don't overthink them. What are you? A coconut palm. I swear to God, palms aren't even trees. You fucking kidding me, World Wildlife?
You got a grass, bitch.
I'm so fucking mad right now, dude.
You got a fucking grass.
Cocos nucifera, more commonly called the coconut tree. The coconut palm is found throughout the world in tropic or subtropic regions. The tree produces coconuts, a fruit that's a staple in the diet of many people around the world. Other parts of the tree, including the coconut husks and palm fronds, are used in cooking, home furnishings, and decoration. Like coconut palms, you'd rather be on the beach than anywhere else. Cold winters aren't your thing. That's fucking true. You prefer a much warm, breezy, sunny day. Sure, you go with the flow on occasion, but big changes in life can be tough to adapt to. It's very true. I feel like this analyzed me pretty well, but why, dude? This thing knows me.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing as mine. Mine diagnosed me pretty well, but I didn't like the tree.
I wish it gave me something cool, like a fig tree.
It gave you a grass.
I know. Well, I am an ISA certified arborist, which means international. So I could go to Tokyo and be an arborist.
Would you like to tell the people about palm trees and why they're not trees?
I can talk to you about palms. I don't know what a palm tree is.
Sorry,
but
I was talking for the layman.
More like the lame man.
Don't insult our audience.
Yeah. So for those of you listening at home and anyone here, even though it's just Brandon, and of course my co-hosts who are always here. Arborist it directly translates to tree surgeon, that's what the meaning of the word is. And then arboriculture is the study and cultivation of trees and all that. But a part of your arborist training is you do learn about palms. But the thing is that palms are not trees. They're not woody. They're almost vascular, and it's the inside is almost like a sponge. It's meshy. I don't really know how to describe it, but and they but they're really fibery. It's not wood, and so they are more closely related to a grass than a tree. But because it's big and tall, people are like, "Oh, it's a tree." But I don't know. Do you look at the Washington Monument and be like, "Oh, it's a tree"?
Yes.
No. Oh, okay. Well, if you do, then it's fine. But it's there's no wood in a palm. There's no wood in the Washington. You know what? There's probably more wood in the National Washington Monument in some fucking stairs or shelves than there is in a palm.
Wow.
Yeah. But, arborist is one of the most dangerous jobs in America.
Yeah, because trees fall. I thought we already talked about this.
Did we? Probably.
Yeah, the guy got covered in palms.
Oh, yeah.
And suffocated.
If I already told... Well, I'll tell it really quick for anyone that hasn't listened. But, yeah, there was a guy in Arizona where there was one guy in the palm, and he was trimming the fronds, and he, was just dropping them down, as you do, and then you always have a guy on the ground, watching out. And one of the fronds hit him in the head and knocked him out. And then as the guy up there was, cutting and throwing more down, they just buried him and suffocated him. Horrifying. And then, everyone's seen those videos where, a palm is, bent over and some guy goes to cut the head off and it goes, whoosh, whips him back and almost slingshots him off. Those people...
It's cartoons.
Yeah. Well, no, it's happened in real life. But, those people are dumb because, you have to slowly etch it away. But here's the thing. If you're a doctor, you have to, pass, the medical board to call yourself a doctor. So while an arborist is, an official title and certification that you can get, there's no, law preventing you from saying you're an arborist. You can just you could make a business card that says arborist tomorrow and start trimming trees.
And if they don't check your certificates, then that's on them. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's... But an ISA arborist is training. And then there's multiple levels. So I'm right now, I'm a regular arborist, but I'm gearing up to get my municipal specialist and then eventually get my master arborist. But yeah, you can just call yourself.
When do you get the wizard arborist?
I think you have to...
Or grandmaster.
Yeah,
or
you have
something.
to become one with the tree. It's actually
you
a
just
very...
become a tree.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous and irreversible process.
You become an elf and your ears get pointy.
Yeah, or like a druid. And then I can like control nature and the plants.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah. That's what being a grandmaster wizard arborist is. You just become a druid from D&D. So I've told you this story before, Brandon, but I'll give it to the people. But when I became an arborist, I called my dad and I was like, "Hey, Dad, I just wanted to let you know I passed my arborist exam. I'm really excited, because I've been working in like landscape for a couple years, like 3 to 4 years already, and that was on top of like 10 plus years of like gardening experience at home and all that." And so I went to go get my official arborist certification. I called my dad to tell him about it. And he's like, "Well, son, that's great. That's something that can, that'll be useful your whole career, no matter where you go. But it's just kind of weird. I thought that you were, working with trees, not with boats." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, I am going to be with trees. I'm an arborist, Dad." And he was just like, "All right." Dude, it wasn't even like that phone call. It was like way later when I hung out with him a couple months later. I was talking to him about it, and he's like, "Oh, I thought you said arborist. What the hell is that? Am I in the..."
As soon as he said boats, I'd be like, no, not with an H, with an A.
Well, what's that movie with Marlon Brando where his brother, and he was like, Charlie, no. Charlie. Marlon Brando.
Mouse Hunt?
Harbor. No, it's not the man. On the waterfront.
Never heard of it.
When he's like a dock worker. It's like my dad thought I was going to be like Marlon Brando from On the Riverfront. It's a lot funnier if you're old and have seen that movie.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's my little arborist story. And then where there's that hardware store nearby called like Harbor Freight. We went in there. I'm like, this is my, I feel at home here in the harbor.
I think we need another drink.
I do, but before we do that, can you guess my favorite pepper?
Jalapenos.
Chile de Arbol.
That was close.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the second drink. Here we have Bryn. So from what I understand, it's a PhD in fixology.
You could say that.
Or is it like an honorary doctorate because you're the father of the study? It's like you couldn't have gone to school for it because you created it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, when it says doctor, what is so funny is there's actually a different Dr. Brandon Churchill that's been on the show. He's my medical expert.
No kidding.
Yeah, he actually discovered 2 diseases, tequila no remembro and whiskey no taco.
I've heard of these.
Cutting edge stuff. Yes, it's sweeping the nation. It only affects booze bags. It's kind of weird. But anyway, here's our second drink. A little gentle clink there.
Very full. Oh my god.
I like this better.
I have 2 limes in mine because I didn't squeeze my first one.
Yeah. So, Brandon, tell us what you did.
All right, you ready for this? Sip it slow.
First up. First up, the color is like this
Dark.
blood red.
Dark mahogany, if you will.
It's the red mangrove. Ooh, that'll be the name of this one, the red mangrove.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
All right. It is, and this is per drink. Red mangrove.
3 shots of red mangrove.
Repeat. It is 3 ounces of Southern Comfort.
Okay.
1.5 ounces pineapple juice.
Okay.
1.5 ounces cherry juice. Top with club soda. And I don't know if you can tell, there wasn't much room for club soda.
No. This is good, though.
But I would top it with club soda.
I prefer this very much.
Oh, same here. This is so much better.
All right, everybody.
Very much more refreshing.
Go ahead and whip up your... And then what, just pour over ice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it says to shake contents without the ice. I recommend you don't do that.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
I just kind of swirled it.
Yeah.
And then poured it in.
Yeah, everybody go home and make yourself a red mangrove. This drink I'm going to give... I don't know,
10 spruces for me.
That balance of sweet and tart is there.
Yeah.
And there's not much acid.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Because the lime gives it the brightness.
I think if you had the dual lime wedge like I did, I think it would be there for you.
But for that reason, 7 out of 10 blue agaves.
Okay.
All right.
I give it 10 spruces.
10 spruces. Everyone at home, plug that into wolframealpha.com. They will give you the conversion rate. So
They would. As my part of my doctorate, I had to.
you had to put that program in.
Yes.
So Brandon, second half of the show, I think we should just get right into it. And Arbor Day, it's a holiday I like to celebrate. Like I said, I planted earlier today. I planted one tree, but it's not quite Arbor Day yet. Day of recording. So I will be actually planting a bunch of trees for Arbor Day. And I encourage everyone at home to plant some trees for Arbor Day. Plant native. There's actually a little bit of a rant I want to go on after this game. But speaking of native, I have a little bit of a game for us today.
It is a holiday, so it wouldn't be a holiday without a game.
Yeah, it's not a holiday special without a game. So it is Guess the State.
Wait, is this a holiday special?
Yeah, it's the Jen and Thomas Arbor Day special.
Did you introduce it that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
think you did.
Welcome, everybody, to the Jen and Thomas Arbor Day special. So if it's not there, just cut that in.
Somebody really likes this.
Oh, wait, Danielle. How are you going to rate this drink?
Going in for another sip.
There's like something sweet in there, and I can't just tell what it is. It's throwing me off. Is it cherry?
There's cherry juice and there's pineapple juice.
And
pineapple's what I was tasting.
And the whiskey itself is a little sweet.
I think I'm gonna give this. Is it out of 10?
It's whatever you want it to be.
I know, and that throws me off. I'm gonna give it.
I do it out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Okay, that's nice. Oh yeah, you have to pick what it is. All right.
8 stars out of 10 stars.
You know what's funny is I stole my whole rating system from Danielle because it was the Valentine's Day special.
Yes.
Where she was like, "Oh, it's a really good drink. It was really good. I like the color, but it's the wrong time of year for this kind of drink." So for that reason, 2 out of 10. That's when I decided to start rating things. That's why I always say. And then in your YouTube videos, I say, "And for that reason, it's because of her."
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It's a healthy drink. I think it has fruit in it. It's healthy. But so anyway, we're playing a game for the 9th time. Guess the state based off of its state tree.
Oh no.
I think I'm gonna win.
I hope so.
This is so bad.
No tricks.
Bullshit.
No, no, Brandon. There were like 3 accidental tricks, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta take those out. That's too deep even for me."
Thank God.
Well, because I'll just give it away. So there's some states that have the same state tree, and I like doubled up like multiple times. I was like, "Wait, but what?"
Yeah, that would have been whack of you.
And I'm not gonna do that to you.
Thank you.
So I have 10 here.
All right.
All right, are we ready, contestants?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Bald cypress.
Georgia.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a Cypress, Arizona?
I don't know.
All right, then.
Let's find out.
I'm not going to say that then.
Was your guess Arizona at first?
No, not my final guess. I didn't lock in my answer. What do you think this is? Not Millionaires Wanted? What was that show? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
But you can... There's a kind of cypress, the Cypressia arizonica, the Arizona cypress.
Going to say Ohio.
Louisiana.
I was closer.
Yeah.
What did you say? I don't even remember.
Georgia.
Well.
All right. So, number 2. Never mind.
Alabama?
Nope. We're going
to not do that.
I'm going to have to get into I can't believe I said that out loud. I'll tell you what it was. Longleaf pine.
Alabama.
Yeah. You have any guesses for that one, Danielle?
Alabama.
Okay. All right. I'll give that one to you guys.
Great. We each got a point.
Okay. Hold on. So B and D. All right. Pinon pine.
You go first.
Pinon?
Pinon. Pinon. Pinon.
Nevada.
Okay.
New Mexico.
All right. Final answers for you both?
Yeah.
Danielle's got it.
I knew it was something southwest.
Flowering dogwood.
Missouri.
She said that so confidently. I'm going to say Missouri's also.
No, that's cheating.
No, it's not cheating. You answered first. I didn't tell you to
All right,
answer
you both
first.
got it.
I should have let him answer first.
Okay.
You should probably make me answer
All right,
first
guys.
all times.
No tricks.
Cheater.
No tricks.
No tricks.
Colorado blue spruce.
Colorado.
Colorado.
Okay. You guys got it. I don't know. Brandon, let's hear you go first for once, okay? Candle nut tree.
He
No,
said
Brandon
you.
can go first on this one.
Candle nut. That sounds like Connecticut.
Okay. Oh, that's a good fucking drink.
Minnesota?
Hawaii.
Because palms aren't trees.
I don't think that the candle nut tree is a palm, though.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not a palm tree.
Instead of being like a coconut. Yeah. I'm so
palms
mad I got
aren't
palm on that
trees.
one. All right. The blue Palo Verde.
Arizona.
Oh, I was going to say Arizona. It just sounds very Arizona.
Well, you're still allowed to.
Oh, but now I don't know if I want to copy you. Yeah, I'll go with Arizona.
All right, you guys got it right.
Yeah.
So here's my problem with that, right?
Palo Verde. Sounds
Palo
very
Verde
Arizona.
means green stick. Palo stick, Verde means green. So it's the blue green stick. It's not teal.
Yeah.
No, but there's some blue Palo Verdes out there, and you look at them and you're like, that's a little blue. That's still a green stick.
Are they more white?
That would probably be a Palo Blanco, a white stick.
I meant like the flowers. I thought it was
No, the flowers have like it's like a yellow flower.
Never mind.
She doesn't know.
All right. Red maple.
You go first. What part of that can you not wrap around?
Try
your
to trick
brain?
her. A red maple. California.
What?
You go first.
She's over here she's like looking at me like, blink me the answer in Morse code.
Can I change my answer? Washington.
Okay. Whatever you want it to be, man.
California.
Rhode Island.
I was hoping that
You can give the same answer, Danielle.
Well, she did. She gave my first answer.
No, I know, but like you don't have to like make him change.
After you said, okay, I realized that both of those were wrong, and then she said California, and I laughed.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys a clue on this one, okay?
No tricks.
So, no tricks. This next one was one of the trees that shares a state tree with the other one. So the other state, the one that I had crossed out, was Michigan. So this state shares its state tree with Michigan. Oh, wait, I have to read the tree.
Thank you.
Eastern white pine.
Eastern white pine.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Okay.
I'm going to say Montana.
Maine.
Dang.
That was my second guess.
I'm sure
Actually,
it
I wanted to
was.
say Maine the whole time because of the Eastern, but I was like, man.
Yeah, Minnesota is west of Michigan.
But there's like Michigan.
Is Minnesota west of Michigan? Yeah, it has to be.
There's like Michigan. I was like, it's got to be close to Michigan.
Are we ready for the next one?
Sure.
Loblolly pine. Loblolly. Loblolly pine. A lot of pines.
There are a lot of pines. I'm saying Montana again.
Okay. Danielle?
Nevada.
Arkansas.
Ugh.
All right, so let's count them
Tell
up.
that story a different
So
time.
Brandon has 4 points out of 10. Danielle has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of
Bullshit.
10.
Bullshit. I want to recount.
Okay, how about this? Whoever can get, if you can get this right, I'll give you 100.3 points.
All right.
Can you tell me the difference between spines, thorns, and prickles? And give one example of each.
Okay, I'm not. That's like 6 things.
Can you?
6 times 2 is, or 3 times 2 is.
No, but if you know the difference, it's very easy to know. Fine, give me an example of each. Give me an example of spines, thorns, and prickles.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say that it depends on what kind of plant it grows on. So a thorn would be like a rose, so a flower. A prickle sounds like, I don't know yet. And what was the other one? A spine?
Spines, thorns, and prickles.
Does
yeah.
one of them grow on a shrub? Is that am I on the right track?
One of them grows on a shrub, or a tree, or any kind of woody plant.
Prickles? Prickles?
You have to tell me what spines are.
I don't know yet. Spines are...
Cactus.
That's a good guess. Spines are cactus.
Okay. What are your 3 guesses for the 3? If you can tell me an example of each, and get them all right.
Well, I know thorns kind of like angle off of the plant. Like they don't, like a spine sticks straight out.
Mm-hmm.
And a thorn is kinda
I'm not nodding in agreement. I'm acknowledging. I'm not giving anything away.
And a thorn kind of curves like a...
Okay, but what
like
plant?
a tooth almost, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, like a rose bush.
Has...
Thorns.
Okay, and what has spines and prickles?
I would say that cactus have prickles.
Okay.
Mainly because of the prickly pear.
Okay.
And then...
So what has spines?
I have a spine.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Oh, you mean which plant has a spine?
When you're a grandmaster wizard arborist and you become a tree, and then you have a spine. Sorry, Danielle, that's a joke you weren't here for.
Pine tree.
Okay. You're both wrong.
Yeah, of course. We're not arborist. It's
spines.
Arbachios.
Spines are on... Hold on.
He doesn't even know.
No, I'm just making sure, because now I've said spine so many
The
times.
fact that he has to look it up and he expected us to know.
Off the top of our heads for 100.1 points.
Also, you copied me.
Okay, I'm just making sure that it was spines, because I was like, when you say a word so many times, it's like, is that what it's called? So spines are on cacti. Spines are a modified leaf, and the prickly pear, that big dinner plate shaped little thing.
Yeah.
That's a modified stem. Thorns come from the cambium layer of woody plants, so that's going to be on your trees and shrubs, like citrus with its big long thorns. And then prickles are just on the surface. Like a thorn goes into the wood, but a prickle is just on the outside, and you can snap it off. And that's actually what roses have, is you can snap off the prickles off of a rose. So that song, "Every rose has its thorns."
You're a prickle.
It's a fucking lie. Yeah. Prickles are little curves,
What a prick.
Oh.
So Danielle runs away with the victory, a 5-4 lead. Let's try to carry that into next arborist game.
Arbaccio. I changed the name of it.
Arbaccio. Let's see if she can bring that into the next round of Arbaccio, everybody. So Danielle, you're a bit of a plant girl.
Yes.
You haven't dabbled too much in the tree game.
No, I haven't.
Do you have a favorite tree by chance?
I do. I have a couple favorite trees. My favorite tree is the redbud, which is native to Missouri.
I love it. There's one of the trees I'm going to be planting on Arbor Day is called the flamethrower redbud.
Ooh.
And the leaves go from green to red to orange to yellow in this cool gradient.
Oh,
the leaves, but I'm really excited.
Is that the one that I've seen pictures of it in the fall time, and it almost looks like it plays tricks with your mind. I'll have to show you a picture
I think
later.
that's probably it. But
that's cool. And then my other favorite tree is a willow tree. I really, really want one in my backyard someday.
Me too.
Aspirin comes from willow bark. How do you say
What does?
Acetylsalicylate? Aspirin is acetylsalicylic.
Oh, aspirin, yeah.
Acetaminophen?
No, it's
That's Tylenol.
acetylsalicylic acid.
Yeah.
Native tribes, I guess how it started is these native tribes in America, they would when they were giving birth, the women would chew on the bark, and it would release the acetylsalicylic acid. I hope I'm saying that right, but and then that compound is used to what we call aspirin today, even though it's or artificially made now. But anyway, keep going. A willow tree would be beautiful. I really hope that for you guys. If you need someone to plant one, I am a guy that can do that.
I'll hire you out. My last tree isn't necessarily a type of tree, or it's a broad type, I guess. It's the evergreen. I don't really understand.
Evergreen just means it's green year round.
Yeah, I know. So what would you call the ones that are? I don't even know. There's the ones that are in the mountains that are really long and then have the green at the top. They're in
the ones in northern Arizona.
Maybe
ponderosa pine.
Yeah. And then in California, Northern California, and then also
those sequoias.
I don't know.
The ones that are like Hyperion, the tallest tree in the world.
Yeah, those are super cool.
Yeah, you can't have one in your backyard.
No, I don't want one in my backyard, but I want an evergreen, just a pine. Just a pine.
Yeah, pine would be good. But what's crazy about those trees in California? It's fucking tall as hell. In Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and Endor, where they're having the fight with the teddy bears, that was filmed in Sequoia National Park. So like this like giant woodsy region, that was California.
That's what those trees are called, sequoias?
Mm-hmm. Or like the redwood sequoia.
Yeah, redwood. That sounds familiar.
But it takes one of those.
By the way, they're called Ewoks.
Oh yeah. But it takes one of those to neutralize like all of the carbon that like one person creates in their life.
Wow.
So you would have to like plant one and let it grow for like hundreds of years to undo all of the damage you've done.
Wow. But okay. That's crazy. So where are you, before we finish this question, I'm curious where you're going to plant your tree at. Since you don't have like a backyard, where are you going to go plant a tree?
My job as an arborist.
Oh my gosh, she's such an arborist. That's
Yeah.
so cool. I want to plant a tree. Can I come even though I don't work with you?
Yeah. Are you off on Friday?
No.
No. Well, then you can't.
Wednesday, Thursday. Dang it. Okay.
When
Off
are
to-
you off? Are you off on Thursday?
I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I'm off after that.
We can just do some guerrilla gardening and plant a tree under the cover of night.
Okay. Let's do it.
No.
What are your favorite trees, Brandon?
Well, I grew up with maple, so that's pretty basic to me, but
And
I really like it.
Is that the one with the helicopters?
Yes.
Hate that tree. Least favorite tree there is.
Oh, I thought you meant like a tree that has like a helicopter watching it all the time. I'm like, a tree with helicopter? What the
No,
fuck?
when the seeds fall out, they helicopter
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Glad she finished my fucking drink for
That's
me.
a good drink.
Rude. I also like the willow tree.
Yeah.
Call them weeping willows.
Whomping willows.
Weeping willows.
Uh-huh.
Whomping willows.
Whomping willows.
Palms.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Oh my god, no. But Danielle fucking called it. Because I was like, hey Danielle, how you doing? And she was like, has Brandon told you his favorite trees? Palm trees.
I know better than to say that in
Well,
front
no,
of you.
and then I was like,
The
yeah.
whole drive home, I was just thinking about how Thomas was going to ask you what your favorite tree was, and you were going to say a palm tree, and it just set him off and ruined the whole episode.
No, it set me off when I played myself and,
and
got
that
palm
honestly
tree.
made it even better. Like, that couldn't have been any better.
No, when it popped up, I'm like, what the hell? Oh my
And I
gosh.
go, how does it feel to be grass on tree day? Grass is corn, bro.
Including the devil's lettuce. I don't smoke it, so I hate that
Well,
grass.
you're allergic to it.
Yeah, I'm not deathly. What's the opposite of deathly? Mildly allergic to hemp or something like that. I don't like corn. That's a grass. Palms are practically a grass. My professional opinion is they are, but I'm not someone that studies grass. I don't even know what the word for that is.
Grassibus.
Well, I don't know what kind of ologist that even is. Turfologist?
Probably. Pretty damn close.
I don't
It's
know.
not.
Oh, speaking of ologies and what my favorite trees are, you could consider me a pomologist because pomology is the study and cultivation of fruit. And anyone that knows me knows that I specialize in fruiting trees for my my arborist job. Like fruiting is in like the fruit you eat, not like, because I mean in a way anything with a flower fruits, you know what I mean, or any female plant with a flower fruits. Male flowers don't fruit, but I study fruit. I cultivate fruit because my house in Arizona, I have over 30 fruit trees.
Agrostology?
Astrology?
No, agrostrology.
That's the study of grass.
Yes, sir.
Agrostology.
Agrostology,
That's pretty
bro.
interesting. Screenshot that
grow in
and
the
send
name.
it to me so I can remember that. But I do consider myself a pomologist. But my favorite tree, I love a citrus. So for those of you at home, at my house in Arizona, I have 11 citrus trees, 5 fig trees, 2 plums, 2 peaches, 4 pomegranates, and then just like countless other things in pots. You know what I mean? Like it's not a tree, but like I have grapevine growing in a pot. I have other citrus, other little things.
You got
I just pick everything up.
the lime with the pink inside, don't you?
No, so my Eureka Pink Lemon died. There's this part of my yard where like the trees just keep dying and I don't know what it is.
The ground.
But there's other plants nearby that aren't dying. So I don't know if I just had 2 bad luck situations, but I have a different tree in there now, which is a mystery tree. I don't know what it is, but it's a citrus, so we're going to find out.
That's exciting.
Yeah. It's actually a tree that my stepmother gave me, so we're going to see how that turns out. But I do want to get another Eureka pink lemon and put that in a pot. Yeah, and then there's a little side section on the side of my house. I think I might do some kumquats. But then it's like, do I have too much citrus? I also might convert that to a dragon fruit area. But that's a cactus, not a tree. But for a favorite tree, I love olive trees because as they grow, and some people let them have multiple stems, but I want a single-stemmed olive tree. But as it grows, it gets this cool, like, twisting to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks so cool, and it's very prevalent in, like, Greek stuff.
Like
Danielle has her little Greek mythology book in front of us. Fig trees are cool because, like, they're really relevant in the Bible, and they pop up in, like, a lot of different, like, religious things. So, like, even if you're not religious, it's still cool to have, like, such, like, a culturally significant tree. But then, like, pomegranates show up in a bunch of different stuff. And, like, with pomegranates, in Greek mythology, it's, like, the thing of, what's her name?
Medusa?
Persephone, right? Persephone, the daughter of Demeter? Or is it Aphrodite? No, Aphrodite is the goddess of, like, love. So Persephone, the goddess of verdure or something like that. So she eats like 4 or 5 or 6 pomegranate seeds, and then that's how long she's stuck down in Hades with the titular Hades. But then in the Bible, it's never explicitly said. I think I talked about this on an earlier podcast, but it's never explicitly said that it's an apple. And apples don't exist in the same way that we have them even just a couple hundred years ago when they weren't the same. But pomegranates are relatively the same as what they are in the wild as like what we eat, just a different size. So it's very possible that in the Garden of Eden, it would have been a pomegranate. And the French word for apple is pomme, and pomme means fruit, right? But I think that's derived from pomegranate. You know what I mean? I mean, I'll have to do a little more of the study of the entomology to really know what like the origins of pomegranate is. And hand grenades are named after pomegranates because they looked like pomegranates. The Germans named them hand grenades, but the word for pomegranate in German is like apple grenade, Apfelgranate. Anyway, no. So like I'm kind of picking these trees because of like cool like history they have, but like the look of a badass olive tree. But the, those giant 200-year-old willows in the southern United States is beautiful. The monkey puzzle tree is just fucking weird, but a juniper is beautiful. Oh, and that's how you make gin.
Is the money tree an actual tree?
Money tree. I think that's like a house plant.
It is a house plant, but couldn't it also be a tree?
Depends.
It's got bark.
Well, what's the actual definition of a tree? Like, what makes a tree, or is that too deep for this episode?
So it depends on who you ask, because there's like a debate between like trees and shrubs. You know what I mean? And I'd said this to hold on, it's the guana chestnut. So
yes.
But so
add that to my list.
There's like a debate between like a lot of things between tree and shrub. There's no real definition. It's kind of like who discovers it can kind of decide, because large shrubs are bigger than small trees. Like citrus is a shrub, but you can have a 30-foot tall citrus shrub. You know what I mean? And so, but I mean, you could have a redbud tree that's only like 6 feet tall, or like Palo Verdes, I believe, are a tree. But if you kind of let it go wild, it grows very shrubby. Same thing with a mesquite. I believe those are classified as trees. But a lot of it can come down to who do you ask on a certain day.
So you're telling me that the only reason a palm tree is a grass is because an agrostologist is the one that first discovered it, and they were like, it was just like whatever ology you are or ologist you are, you're like, I found it first, so this is a grass.
You can't be a marine biologist.
You missed the part where he goes, "There's no wood in the palm."
Yeah, there's no wood in a palm. It's like this
sponge.
It's like this fiber, spongy material on the inside, and there's I said it's vascular, but that's not true. Earlier I said it's vascular. Trees have vasculature. They have like the xylem and phloem. They have these like tubes. It's like the veins that bring it up and down, where palms are like this spongy mesh, and it goes up and down that way. And then palms can't like repair themselves in the same way. It's just a totally different thing. But yeah, but by that logic, I could be like a marine biologist, see like a pepper plant, and be like, I'm going to call that the fish pepper. There is a fish pepper, but it's not classified as a fish.
It's not classified as a fish. No shit.
You know what's crazy though is I'm pretty sure that if you let a pepper plant get big enough, it becomes woody.
Only one way to find out.
I know. And then you have herbaceous plants. Oh, and then a banana tree isn't like a tree. It's like it's almost like ginger. You know how you can snap open ginger?
Yeah.
If you like get a running start and tackle a banana tree, it will like pop like snapping ginger.
You're saying you could knock down a banana tree?
Uh-huh. It's hard. Like if they're really big, it's hard.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's like herbaceous on the inside. It's like if you cut open a banana tree, which is not a tree, it would be like the consistency of ginger on the inside.
That makes sense. Like a fibrous kind of dealio.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, any other tree questions for you guys while I'm here? I have to go back to work and deal with real tree experts.
Oh, I thought you meant right now.
No.
Like,
I just meant I have to go back to work.
I like the hibiscus tree. I have one in my backyard, but it died.
Is that a tree?
I don't know. The
I don't know
flowers.
either. People
looks
are
like
like,
a
what's it
tree.
like being an expert
got
in your
bark.
field? It's just Googling things, no matter how much you know about something. Hi.
It's got bark.
It's a genus of subtropical woody shrubs and small trees. So which is it?
Small tree.
It's dead is what it is.
True.
Well, that's what I mean. So
It's just not a native plant to Missouri,
Yeah.
and it did not handle the winter.
yeah, it is woody, but I was just trying to see what it was kind of classified as. But it's, but yeah, some people say small shrubs and small trees. But the thing is like some people say like, oh, to be a tree it has to be like a bush with like a stick up the middle. Like some people say like trees are like tall things with like stems, and then like a shrub is something that has like a lot of different ones. But then it's just like a matter of how you prune it. But then
Yeah, because this hibiscus has one tall stem, and then it branches out.
Yeah,
from
but
that, like a tree would.
but
if
it was
you cultivate
probably
it that way.
Yeah, it was probably pruned that way. But if you just like let it grow naturally, so there's no real meaning. And
Let's just be honest. It's all fake and made up.
it is, it is. But I have a little.
Let's call a shrub a shrub.
Yeah,
It's all made up.
Let's call a shrub a shrub. But I do have a recommendation. If anyone listening is interested in learning more about trees, there's a different podcast called Completely Arbitrary. And so one guy, Casey Clapp, he is the city forester for Portland, Oregon. And then the podcast is just him. Every episode it's a different tree. And then he just talks about that tree to his friend. And it's kind of cool because if you know about trees, you're like, oh, cool. But if you don't know anything about trees, like if you know about trees, you're more like the host, right? Well, they're both hosts. I don't know what it's like to have a... Oh, wait, no, I do know what it's like to have a co-host. Anyway, so if you know about trees, you're more like Casey Clapp. I mean, you're still learning, but you're like, yeah, I understand tree things. But if you don't know anything about trees, you're like the other guy. And it's kind of cool listening to it because, like, as it goes on, he's, like, learning tree words. And he'll be like, let me guess, this is also deciduous. And then you're like, yeah, you got it, buddy. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of cool. But yeah, so that's a fun one. You learn a lot. And then Ologies, the podcast Ologies, on the dendrology episode, Casey Clapp is the special guest. But so Danielle, you are a nurse, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and I used to work as a little bit of a paramedic. Keep her on the microphone. Shit, this is.
I'm
her
gonna go
bit.
pee.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. So
Yeah.
you know how like your nerves are like dendrites and axons?
Yeah.
Axons. Dendrites are named after tree roots. So we knew about trees before we knew about like the nerves in our bodies. And so the dendrites in our body, like the part of our nerves, they look like tree roots the way they like spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just kind of interesting.
That is cool. I was reading a book about, well, it was like about plants, but there was a section in it about trees, and it talked about how like trees can communicate with each other from like, I don't know if it said miles or feet away, but they have like this whole like rooting system underground that they can like communicate, and they know
and
like
they wrap
exactly.
around each other, and then
Yeah.
like trees can send each other nutrients and stuff like that.
They like either will share and like grow together and like share nutrients, or like compete with each other depending on, I guess, what kind of plants they are. But I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And so what's crazy too is there is this thing, it's called the Pando Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's in Utah by the Fish Lake National Forest, or it's in the Fish Lake National Forest. But so the Pando is approximately 1 mile southwest of Fish Lake on State Highway 25. If anyone wanted to go see it in Utah, but it is it's like one of the largest living organisms on Earth because all of the trees in the Pando are part of the same root system,
Mm-hmm.
but it started as like one tree. Its roots like spread out, and then like a different tree would pop up over here, and then
Oh
that spread
my
out, and so it's like this
gosh.
entire forest that is one singular organism. And so because the roots get like, so one tree can die, but then it just like pops up other ones, but
That's crazy.
it is just one.
Plants are so cool.
I know. And it's like, and like there's two potential oldest trees on Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, gosh, Brandon doesn't get excited about trees, so I didn't go down this rabbit hole. So let me look this up, because the name of this one, I can't ever get it off the top of my head. So there's two trees that are potentially the oldest. So there's Prometheus, which is about 4,900 years old.
Isn't that the name of a Greek god?
Yeah, a lot of these are named after Greek stuff.
Mm.
And so it is a Great Basin brittle cone pine in Wheeler Park, Nevada. Unfortunately, it's dead. It was cut
dead?
down by Ronald Russ Curry. Oh my God, I have to tell you that story. That's horrifying. So that was one of the oldest trees, right? So it was about 4,900 plus years when it died.
Wow.
The current oldest one is Methuselah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that one's about 4,854 years old. And then there's the Gran Abuelo, or the Alerce Millenario, which is either like 3,650 years old or 5,484 years. So we don't quite know.
And do you think that you can like go and do they have like them taped off or anything, or can you like go
Some
and see
of
them?
these trees, I think Hyperion, the tallest tree in the world, they haven't released where it is. But so this is a Patagonian cypress. But so this guy right here who cut down Prometheus, Donald Rusk Curry.
Mm-hmm.
So they have these things. They're like these really long drill bits, right? And what they're really, really long, and they're like maybe the size of your pencil. And what they do, they like, you burr into a tree and you go in as deep as you can, and then you like pull it out, and then you get like a core of the tree, and then you can like count all the rings to see how old something is. So he was in whatever forest it was, right? So this guy, he drills it in, and then he like wants to pull it back out, but it's stuck, and he's like, oh well. And so he drills in another one, and that one is also stuck. And these things are really expensive. And he's like, well, I can't lose fucking two of these. So he like goes to the forest rangers, and he's like, hey, and he just walked up to this tree. He had no idea what tree this was, whatever.
My
It was just a random, this tree looks good. And so he talked to the forest ranger. He's like, hey, can I cut down this tree? I need to get my stuff back. And the forest ranger's like, yeah, that tree is nothing special. Go for it. So he cuts it down, and it turns out to be the oldest known tree at the time. Like they found that out, and they're like, this is the oldest tree in the world.
How did they not know that beforehand?
You don't really know unless you, but that's why you take out those core samples that he was trying to do.
I feel like I've seen, maybe I'm making this up, but there was like a tree. Okay, this could definitely have been like a dream or something, but there was like a tree that you could drive in between.
That is in the Redwood National Forest, or the Sequoia National Forest.
Oh, so I didn't make that up.
Yeah, they like cut a giant car hole.
That's crazy
Yeah.
too. But how does that not kill the tree?
I don't know. You know what's crazy is those redwoods, you could cut it down and it would grow an entirely new tree.
From the stump?
Yeah, it would like grow a whole new one.
Wow.
But the thing is with those trees, the cambium, so the wood in the middle is just there to hold the tree up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the cambium, in between like the wood on the inside and the bark, that's where all the vasculature is, like all of the xylem and the phloem, which goes up and down in the nutrients. So as long as like that's still intact, it can still get nutrients up and down. So yeah, as long as it's able to pull enough nutrients from all of that.
It's pretty crazy.
I know.
Have you ever been to that national park?
I have not, unfortunately. I want to go to every national park, but it's a bit of slow going, you know. Got to save up that vacation time.
True.
But let me see. But also when that hole was cut, cars were like a lot smaller back then, so it's not like the biggest hole ever. So I believe this is it. The chandelier tree, massive redwood tree, has a hole in the base big enough to drive through. Tree in Leggett, California, has a hole cut in its immense truck that's large enough for a car to drive through. The hole is 6 feet wide and nearly 7 feet tall, carved sometime in the 1930s.
Wow.
Miraculously, this tree is so big and strong that it survived the gaping wound at its base. So it's like, not only is this tree like almost like this cut alone is almost like 100 years old, but like the tree is just like, yeah, what about it? Oh, but what's crazy is the tallest tree in the world, Hyperion. Hold on. Hyperion tree is considered the world's tallest known living tree at 380 feet tall. And the thing is like it could be taller. And it is in California, but they haven't released its exact location. But like just because the tree it is, we know it's in California. Like anyone would figure that out. But the exact location of Hyperion is nominally secret, but is available via an internet search. So never mind.
Top secret.
Well, because I mean, I guess one guy with a drone, but it could have been taller. But like researchers have said that like because of like woodpeckers, like messing around with the top of it has like stunted its growth.
Oh.
So it's the tallest now, but it could have been bigger.
Wow. Stupid woodpeckers.
I know. But, you know, I love when big, massive behemoth trees are like named after Greek gods and titans and stuff like that.
I know, it's so cool. We should go to the California National Park, Brandon, sometime. He said yes, we should. I don't know if that was sarcasm.
Oh, and so one more. This is for both of you. So, do you guys know anything about the Yarnell 19, the 19 firefighters that died in Arizona
No.
a couple of years ago? Oh, so it's like 5 or 6 years ago now. But 19 wildland firefighters died. Oh, it was horrific. And so, and it was in the Prescott area. But one thing that they are famous for before they unfortunately perished in the fire is they saved the most famous tree in Arizona. So where is this thing?
Giant cactus.
Okay, so, oh my God, hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second here. So, I mean, honestly, I'll need to look up if there's like some firefighter appreciation day or appreciation week and do an episode and talk about them then, because they honestly deserve their whole thing. So I can't really go too much into it.
Makes sense.
But they saved this tree, the Grand Champion juniper tree, which they saved from this like horrific fire. And so it is known as the alligator juniper. The tree, estimated to be the world's largest alligator juniper, was saved from the 2003 DOCE fire by the Granite Mountain Hotshots, a crew of 20 wildland firefighters. The fire burned nearly 7,000 acres of the Prescott National Forest. That's where my dad lives.
It's a lot of acres.
However, it didn't burn any nearby homes or structures thanks to the efforts of hundreds of responding firefighters, including the hotshot crew. The battle to save the tree was shown in the 2013 movie Only the Brave, starring Miles Teller and Josh Brolin.
Never heard of it, surprisingly.
It's really good. God, it's sad, dude. And the book is sad. And then you know what's really haunting, too, is if you go up, you can hike a trail, like their memorial trail. And along this hike, there's like individual statues for all of them. And then the end of the trail is their death site.
Oh, shit.
Haunting. All right, so the documentation, all right, this is a quote. So the tree's true age still towers above the usual lifespan of living things are accustomed to, according to researchers. The document that we have on file on this tree is that in 1998, when it was submitted, they estimated the age to be about 1,400 years old.
Jesus.
Typically, trees don't live that long, and definitely not in an urban environment. You'd be lucky if you got a 50-year lifespan. A senior researcher at the University of Arizona Tringray Lab said the tree may be around 1,000 years old, but added that finding an exact age for an alligator juniper is extremely difficult.
Yeah, because you'd have to cut it down to know exact, right?
Well, and also because it's one of these things that has like kind of a lot of stems coming out of things, and junipers kind of do like, and there are a lot of trees that do this, and this juniper seems to be one of them. But it'll like kind of grow a little bit, and then maybe like a part of it dies, and it grows more over here. So it's not like one trunk that is just consistently growing wider in this circle. So it can just completely stop growing over here and then grow over this side. So you can't really count the rings in a reliable way. But yeah, man, trees are freaking crazy. Yeah, I want to do a whole thing about the hot shots, but that'll be for another day. But yeah, so there's this tree in Arizona that's like 1,000 to 1,400 years old.
Holy shit.
A lot older than me.
What's the oldest tree?
In the world?
Yeah.
You walked out for that. You're going to have to listen to the episode.
Oh, okay. Finally.
No, there is...
Should plug in another mic.
Oh my gosh, I should have. But I don't know, Brandon. That's a lot of tree stuff.
There's a lot of tree stuff.
Hopefully you learned something. I enjoyed telling you about it.
I learned an acorn's worth of knowledge.
that's
Think about it.
debatable
Think
on
about
whether or not there's a lot of knowledge
Think about
about acorns out there.
No, there's a lot of knowledge in an acorn.
That's very true. Oh, tree nuts are very healthy. Everybody should eat more tree nuts. But, Brandon, you just got back from your bathroom break, and now I have to go. So I say we wrap up this show.
Correct.
All right, so, Brandon, where can they find you?
At Brandon Churchill on YouTube, Brandon_Churchill_95 on Instagram, Brandon Churchill without the U and Churchill on Twitter. Danielle?
Where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at DanielleK23 and Danny's Wet Planties.
You posted for the first time in a while on Danny's Wet Planties.
I did. Did you like that?
I liked
Did
it
you
a lot.
see how big
Yeah,
that leaf got?
You didn't post the black market euphorbias I got you.
Yeah, I know, because I don't want to get arrested.
Yeah, me neither. Thomas got that. But as for me, as for me, you can find me on Instagram at CaptCoolKid. That is CAPT Cool Kid, as well as Bad Boy of Botany. But hey, guys, I'm back in the arboriculture game. I'm going to be posting. I'm going to be taking pictures. I'm going to be taking pictures of trees, flowers, a fucking squirrel. Stay tuned. Okay? Is that your squirrel noise? I don't think that's what they sound like. But as for the show, you can follow the show on Instagram at Jen and Thomas Podcast. We are Jen and Thomas Pod on Twitter and YouTube, and JenandThomasPod@gmail.com on Gmail if you would like to submit questions. I was going to ask for questions for this episode, but it was a little up in the air of when we were actually going to be able to lock down the recording. But I get a better turnout on questions than I expect, so maybe we'll just kind of make that a regular thing and have a couple of questions every once in a while. So, I don't know. I think that's it. But hey, if you ever have any arbor questions or tree questions or plant-related questions, go ahead and email the podcast or DM the Bad Boy of Botany on Instagram, DM the Danny's Wet Planties Instagram, any of that. But you know how we close it out here, everybody. Please drink responsibly. Share a drink with friends. Don't drink alone. Drink with us. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and on a boat. This is very important. Do not drink and operate things like chainsaws, please.
Or scooters.
Or don't drink and scoot, but, drink responsibly. So, oh my God, I'm speeding through this. I got to pee. So be safe, be kind, and good night.
Bye.